What's up, Facebook? So I said I was going to jump on here and do a quick video. I just see a lot of talk about which is more important for like your health and fitness goals, intensity or consistency. And obviously, like any other topic or debate in the world, everybody is very opinionated, like this one's more important or this one's more important, and there's like no in between, which is pretty typical in the world that we live in. But I just want to give you a few things to consider based on where you're at in your fitness journey is going to dictate a little bit like on which end you want to maybe focus a little more on. So what I mean by this, I often see like a big mistake that I see, and I understand why people do it, because they feel like they have so much time to make up for. They want to get the results quick. They're mad at themselves because maybe they haven't been doing what they think they should do. So their very first day in the gym in years or maybe ever, they'll do a workout that they see their favorite fitness influencer or whatever do. Take into consideration that whoever they're watching is probably very experienced and has been training consistently for a long time, so they're able to do a pretty hard workout. So I will see newbies, people that haven't maybe been in the gym recently, and they'll go way too intense, way too hard their first 1, 2, 3, if they make it to 4 or 5 workouts. And they're not ready for that. Like, their body isn't going to really handle that well. Their nervous system is going to be a wreck because you're adding a lot of extra stress that your body's not used to because you haven't built up to that, right? So if you have any outside factors, like life stress factors that we all do, some more than others depending on what's going on currently in your life, if you're really stressed out, like outside of the gym, and then you're also going extremely intense in the gym and you're not like ready for that, you haven't built up to that, you're just going to crash out. You're just going to run yourself into the ground, and you're going to feel horrible. There's going to be weeks where you don't go back to the gym because you're over it, right? You just ran yourself down too quick, too hard. You weren't ready for it. So in that case, I would just say try to be consistent and maybe, ease your way into things, right? Like, I know it's so hard for people to do that because they see people online doing these really hard workouts or posting hard things and making it look like they're doing really hard workouts either way. So they see this online and they think this is what I have to do, right? Like, I have to do what, the top bodybuilder in the world's doing, or I have to do like what the top athlete, like if you're into athletic training, I have to do what they're doing. But you have to start small, like start somewhere and build up. They didn't do what they were doing at first either. They had to work up to that years and years in a lot of cases. So when you're first starting, I would say consistency is extremely important. Build a foundation so you can handle more intensity, right? Building a foundation of working out in a capacity that you can stick with and handle is going to help your stress. Like when you go home, you're going to sleep better. You're going to pick better food choices. Everything's going to work together. And then you're going to be able to handle more intensity. Then maybe, you up your workout difficulty, 1 day a week to start. Then you start pushing yourself harder every day of the week. But you're more able to rest and relax and enter your parasympathetic nervous system, like when you get home on those days, because you've built up to that. And you have all these other like foundational things kind of in place from the consistency of showing up every day. Now, I don't want to make this too long. I could ramble on this forever. There's also the end of the spectrum that is very common where people will show up to the gym every day, 7 days a week or 5 days a week, whatever their schedule is, right? And so that would make them consistent. They consistently show up. But what are you doing in the time that you're at the gym? This is where intensity comes into play. If you just show up and you're lifting the same 5-pound dumbbells that you started with 2 years ago, like, is that better than sitting at home doing nothing? Absolutely. You're moving your body, you're getting the blood flow, and that's great. But if you want to make progress, aka build muscle, burn fat, having more muscle is going to help you in your goals of having less fat also. We're not going to go into all that, but it will. So to do that, you have to incorporate some intensity. Like, it's a must. Like, your muscles grow with progressive overload, which essentially just means challenging them, right? So that can be done in more repetitions, shorter rest in between sets. Oftentimes the easiest way to mark progression to know that you're getting better is to up the weight safely. So push more weight when you can, right? Safely, you're building up. So you're not trying to, bench press something that you have no business trying to bench press. That's just stupid. But if you want to grow, you have to progressively overload. So, like, your muscles don't want to just grow. Like, they don't. You have to push them to a point where they are forced to adapt, right? And of course, like, you grow outside of the gym with what you feed yourself. If you're not eating enough, you're not going to grow no matter what you do. But that's not like the point of this video, and I don't want to go too long. But you have to have some sort of intensity. So I guess I'll summarize. If you're a newbie, like, just get into the gym. Make it a habit. Even if you just go to talk to somebody and it becomes part of your social thing, obviously, like, respect their training, right? Don't be interrupting people when they're working out. But if they're, drinking a coffee after they're done training or before they're training or whatever, just get in the gym, meet friends, like, make that part of your circle, build consistency. You're going to see what other people are doing. You're going to learn stuff along the way. Maybe someone will take you under their wing and they'll help you for free. So just get in the gym and be consistent. And then that is going to lead to, hopefully, being more intense, because you need that also. If you go to the gym all the time, we all know these people. Maybe you are one of these people. I'm not calling anybody out. I've been this person before. But, like, maybe you are one of these people, or you definitely know these people that are at the gym all the time. But 5 years later, they look the same. They're lifting the same amount of weight. They're not any better in their, like, athletic pursuit or their cardiovascular pursuit or whatever their goals are. And again, showing up and doing anything is still way better than not going at all. But the purpose of this video is to help you get better. So be consistent, add intensity as you go, because it does matter. If you're just showing up doing the same shit, you're not going to get better. You will for a while. Like, your body has to adapt. You will definitely get better for a while, maybe even like a full year. But you're going to hit a point where you have to get more intense. You have to push yourself. Now, when you're doing that, what you do outside of the gym is going to become even more important. So you can go really intense in the gym or wherever you're doing your workouts. But if you're not resting properly and decompressing and entering your parasympathetic nervous system, right? So, like, you're getting all amped up to go to the gym, doing these crazy hard workouts, but then you stay amped up the rest of the night, right? You're listening to loud music, you're playing bright video games, you're just constantly taxing your nervous system. You're not going to be able to continuously bring that intensity. So the more intense you get in the gym, the more you should try to, like, lower the volume of the rest of your life outside of the gym. That's going to help you to recover, to be more mentally and physically ready to be intense again at your next gym session. I don't want to go any longer, but that's my takeaway. People are always, well, consistency, that's all that matters. But is it really? Like, are you really going to get better if you're lifting the same 5-pound dumbbells 2 years later? You're not. Like, you'll be better than you would be if you did nothing, but are you going to get to where you actually want to get? No. You need intensity. It's very important. But when you first start, you need to just be consistent, be nice to yourself, and measure your success against you where you currently are. Like, it's a constant losing battle if you're comparing yourself to your favorite social media influencer or whatever when you're just starting. Like, they've been doing this for years, and they're also using tons of filters on their pictures and videos. They're only showing you the best stuff. Trust me, I know this. I'm in this world. Like, I'm generally not going to take a picture of myself if I'm like really bloated and looking terrible. Like, that's just the reality. So you're comparing yourself against the best version of somebody that's been doing something way longer than you. That's a recipe for failure, right? So get in the gym, be consistent, be nice to yourself, start easy, build, work your way up, add intensity as you go, because it does matter. Hope that helps.